Get ready to pep your Angus, Boolahs. We got plenty to discuss. Well. Welcome back to the new Krown trading application. Oh my lord, I'm so happy that it has turned out in the way that it has. As you can see over here, it's a whole new fresh look and so much more that you can do with it, so much more customization. But first and foremost, and most importantly, let me wish you a happy and healthy day, because god damn it, it's the start of fucking February and it's free to do, and it can only help in my experience. So with that said, hope everyone's having a nice start to this new month of perhaps even new opportunities. You know, if you had a bad January, you can always say, well, the calendar's reset. Nothing be in the past matters, because time is an arbitrary concept to begin with, and it's all good now. Well, as long as, you know, I make the changes that need to be made. Anyways, with that said, and to get off the fucking Tony Robbins tip right there, how about let's go into the Krown Chain application, which can be found at app.krownchain.net. And what do we see? Oh my lord, we see so many new things. By the way, first and foremost, if you do have an account here, which is 100% free to do, you can create your own alerts, and you can put alerts on whatever the fuck your heart desires. And we're going to be building out this future even more and more aggressively. We also do have an opening day sale as well. I'll come back to that at the end of this video, because I think that's just the best way to handle these things, but I do want people to be aware of that fact. And going over here into the data, what do we see? We see plenty of things here. So Bitcoin dominance heading down as Bitcoin does essentially fill out the bottom side of this current range. Now, with that in mind, we do still play into the narrative of this as being a rotational market, which does play into the narrative that Bitcoin and the crypto sphere is more or less healthy on the whole. That is on the whole, again, everything working together. Typically, as you do see in the stock market as well. Fear and Greed Index also popping up to a 77 from a 78, or actually popping down, I suppose, from a 78 to a 77. And what do we see over here with the open interest? Oh, by the way, we have fucking charts for that now. This is lovely. But open interest just above 5 billion, that is, with a B. Other than that, is there anything on the main page right here that I want to go into? We can look at the top 10. We can look at the top worst. By the way, Doggy Coin. Best of the best, XRP, best of the best. This should be telling you something, by the way. This is actually a feature down here that I really wanted to see, because when you are looking at markets in kind of a rotational sense, you want to be seeing which ones are kind of, well, taking the current rates. In this case, it would be the, Doggy Coin is certainly very highly esteemed, right? Again, usually a bit of a batter sign, or usually a little bit of a critical sign here, but we're seeing kind of the junk rally right now. So I do think that we're going to go back into the main ones once again once these guys are done. And I mean, all these names over here, these are coins from like the 2017 era now, aren't they? Or I guess a little bit before that too. XRP, Ampleforth, yeah, I remember that one. Siacoin, if anyone remembers this one. EOS, Tron, yeah, these are 2017 coins. So we're seeing that crop start to rally right now. Anyways, with that in mind, let's go into the market data tab over here. And what do we see? We see plenty of things once again. So we do have a fear and greed index chart, and more importantly, where is it? Oh, hold on, where is it? There it is. Yes, fucking yes. Oh my god, thank the fucking lord. We have a chart for open interest. Hell yeah, baby. And here we go. Okay, so this is exactly what I want to see, because now we can actually really line this up with the price action as well in a more serious tone. So with that said, looking at the open interest right here, we do see a clear base in about the 4.5 billion marker, and a clear ceiling around, well, just above about 5.5 billion. It looks like maybe a little bit closer to 6 billion in this case. Anyways, what this does align with is that this phase that we're looking at right now with Bitcoin is first and foremost reaccumulation, as we do see open interest come down as Bitcoin comes down to the bottom side of the range, and now we're seeing open interest pop up as Bitcoin does rally off of the $30,000 base. So that still plays into the narrative that the market is more or less healthy on the whole, even, you know, smoothing out these silly Elon Musk pumps here, which, you know, we're going to get faded all the time. Now, while you can't see because my stupid face is in the way, I do apologize for that. I was born this way though, so I can't do much about it, unfortunately. But the exchange funding rate over here is showing that we are pretty much at parity for all major exchanges. Nothing too out of the ordinary right here, except for FTX, which is always out of the ordinary at 0.13% region. But no one else even anywhere fucking near there. We even say OKX at negative 0.26%, as you can see. We even have more decimal places there too. So with that in mind, I don't really see anything that's too concerning right here. Obviously, if other exchanges, if we see multiple exchanges start to follow FTX above that 0.1% threshold, that would be a little bit concerning for putting in, well, maybe another local major high. But for now, that's just not a consideration as things stand. That is, as things stand. Also, we have a chart for Bitcoin dominance, which I absolutely love. So you can see it kind of trend down during this region right here. over the last couple months now. Anything else that we want to be checking out? Bitcoin price, perpetuals versus futures, premium dissipating right there as you would suspect. And let's see, this one's also very interesting to me as well. Perpetual versus futures trading. Now we do see, now was this the Elon Musk pump? Yeah, I do think it was. Yeah, that was the 29th. Let me just double check on my calendar what day that was. Oh wow, we're actually in February now. By the way, I'm going on a ski trip a little bit later this week, so I'll have limited connectivity soon. Just a fair warning. Yeah, that was Friday. Okay, yeah, so fair enough. Yeah, we did see a lot, a lot of extra trading there, which is rather interesting as well. Showing that a lot of that was driven by futures, as you might suspect. Anyways, let's now. Well, do I want to spend some more time on here? No, I'll make a dedicated video. Actually, I'll make a dedicated video on the new app, bells and whistles. But one thing that I do want to show you really quickly before we move on is, oh, you can't see it because my. In the top right corner. Okay, so in the top right corner, there's an alerts tab. If you see where my cursor is right now, click that and you can put in alerts for whatever you want. Now, as of right now, well, I should first explain. This actually costs us, or could end up costing us a shit ton of money, which we're completely fine with. But for the time being, while we kind of gather data so we know what to kind of allocate for this, we've limited people to three alerts at a time. Now that is more than trading views, so I'm rather proud about that. But we just want to make sure that everything actually works here. So what you'll do is just add new row. There you get my email, and then you can fill it out. It'll be pretty damn self-explanatory, but you'll be able to see the capabilities of it right now, as it will allow you to do very directed things. Also, the app is able to be downloaded directly into whatever interface that you use, whether it's a mobile, whether it's a computer. It can be downloaded in the same way that you do. I know that like Android has the same feature where it just recognizes that it's a native app. I'll explain it better in a video soon enough, but I want to get this information out there for the more savvy people. Anything else? Do we want to go into the news? Any news? Well, we got all these babies over here. Love it. And in our events over here, we do have an economic calendar, so check that one out as well, as that's actually going to be rather useful, especially for the people kind of looking for a bit of a different edge. Anyways, into the price action charts we go, and like I said, I will make a dedicated video for this. And also, yes, of course, we do have a sale going on for like the next 2 days. Alrighty, nice little opening away. Love it, man. Fucking love it. Great job to our team. Goddamn, Brian. Goddamn, Mr. Morinfall. Oh, you guys are so fucking lovely. Ha. Gotta fucking love it, man. I absolutely love our team. Anyways, okay, so yes, what I want to start off here is the monthly, of course, seeing as we just got a new month, as that really sets in the tone for for the macro, essentially. And what do we see? We do see that Bitcoin is once again closing above the top side trailing band. And just looking at this chart straight up, I will say I'm fucking bullish on Bitcoin over the long term. Now, with that in mind, do I think that Bitcoin can come back down and graze the bottom side of the range somewhere around $30,000? Yeah, absolutely. Do I think it would be an opportunity? Yeah, absolutely. Can you figure out what the fuck I'm doing by the way that I speak, even though I don't fucking spoon feed it out? Probably yes. But this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Blah, 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 blah. All right, so here's what I really want to focus on at the beginning of the month, and that is this, the accumulation distribution indicator. I usually only look at this, I only look at it one time a month, unless to just remind myself and remind the videos as well. But we do see that the accumulation distribution indicator on the monthly specifically, no other time frame I give a fuck about, still retains its positive slope. Now, did it lose a lot of its curvature there to the upside? Yes, it indeed did. But of course, price action, also did the same thing as well, being that it was, more or less ranging on the whole. So with that in mind, I do still retain bullishness just based off of this, and I would still go with the same sort of former narrative that I've been having for a while now. That has been keeping me long and short in very strong trading markets, and that is this: as long as the slope is up, good. As if the slope turns down, bad for BULAs, great for BERAs. And in this case over here, I'll just give you a quick example. We do see that the slope turned positive in May of 2020. Hey, when was May 2020? Was that right here on this move from 8,800 all the way to where we are right now? Yeah, that's rather interesting. What about when we had a negative slope over here in January 2020? Hey, was that at the high at 10,000 before coronavirus dumped down to 4,000? I think it was actually. What about the time where we had a slope change before that in January 2019? Was that after the $6,000 to $3,000 dump leading into the $4,000 to $14,000 pump? Actually, it was. What about the slope change in March 2018? Was that the bull trap at 12,000? Actually, it was before the big bad breakdown from 12,000 to 3,000. So I put a lot of weight on that for the long-term direction. In this case, still looking good right here. And I'd be looking for things to very likely test the top side of the 1,200 bands once again, but I would look at that as well as a basing point, and that is in line with the bottom side of our structure on the daily. I think it's also synonymous with the 55 on the daily as well, which we'll go into soon enough, as well, a nice little area at the very least to be managing off of, and more importantly, it just offers up a nice piece of edge here, as it has been working more than anything else. Looking at our other momentum oscillators, so this is very interesting here as well, seeing as we do have the new monthly, of course, we do still see the MACD histogram is, it's still gaining. It's not until it turns that off color over here where I do really start to look at the macro as likely to go into a different phase. And if you recall, when was the last time that we saw a phase change over here? Well, that was January 2018. That was coming after the 2017 rally, by the way. And if we go a little bit deeper over here on the actual bear drive in January 2019 to February 2019, we saw the phase change once again, and that was this phase right here before the reaccumulation, and then boom, up to $14,000. And then same thing over here on the drop down from August after the $14,000 high all the way into coronavirus dump times, and then, well, the rest is history so far. DMI ADX still staying nice and strong here as well. ADX is absolutely fucking vertical. Jesus Christ. And DMI plus still obviously very dominant. So what I want to do now is I want to check out what the weekly says, as the weekly did close yesterday night as well. Again, I do not give a fook about the accumulation distribution indicator on the weekly or the daily or any other time frame other than the monthly. So this didn't even happen right here, although it should be down, obviously, seeing as we are basing no shit. Anyways, first and foremost, I want to point out that the 9 exponential moving average, which has been getting our last few wicks to the downside, is coming in where? Is coming in about 30,500. That sounds very familiar now, doesn't it? Let's pull back these babies up over here. And what do we see? DMI plus is still technically dominant, but we don't see anything that's like actually, moving right now. So I still want to see an actual signal being fired off. Now, that was clearly always going to happen over here, but this does still play into the narrative that this is a bullish reaccumulation formation, not necessarily a reversal just yet. And what we'd expect to see over the next couple of weeks is we expect to see the DMI plus get a positive slope and the ADX do the same thing. If that happens, continuation is the name of the game, and 50,000 plus is the target of the game. Stupid fucking alliteration. No rhyme. Anyways, yes, the weekly still looking fine for a little bit of basing action right here. I think it's also important to go check out CMEs as well. Very, very similar. And of course, that same $30,500 base. So I do like the confluence between these two things. And I'll just go back to spot because it's a little bit easier to read right now for these higher term timeframes. 3-day looking good as well. Again, yesterday, what did we say? We did say likely a little bit of short-term downside, anywhere between 31 or 32,000 bucks. I still think that's actually, we did get down to about 32,000 bucks even, so I do like that. But I do still think that it could even have another swipe down around there. But ultimately, this is a rather powerful signal right here. And more importantly, we do see that DMI plus dominant, ADX is strengthening. Nice. All right. What do we have on the 2-day? Same sort of thing, actually. Same sort of signal building. And this one will be confirmed later tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time if we do still see the DMI plus dominant and the ADX actually get above the threshold. So that's building right now. So things are looking rather nice in the early morning hours, setting up for a nice day today. Anyways, daily, same thing as well. I want to see the daily MACD across the upside. I want to see the daily fire off a DMI ADX signal here as well. And if that can get us, especially above the 20 simple on this chart right here at above 34,500, I'll be looking at that as an early signal that Bitcoin's going to likely pop back up to the $40,000 level, maybe beyond. Anyways, I need to take a sip of this water because I'm goddamn thirsty right now. Then we'll go through our regular charts as well. Couldn't help myself, man. Couldn't fucking help myself. You gotta have a little bit of fun in the early morning hours, because I won't say it. Fuck it. All right, let's go over here. All right, so CME is opening up on a nice little note right there. Actually, I want to go and look at regular charts. So here's BitMexico, and I still actually like the 55 down here. right around that $30,500 level. And I would say as long as Bitcoin is above there, I look at this as very obviously reaccumulation based off the higher term timeframes. This is the lower term timeframe basing point that can be managed on a daily, obviously. So as long as that condition is met, I'm generally bullish on Bitcoin, but this is for, the general trend, that is. Now, on the short-term timeframes, do I think that Bitcoin can have another move back down to 31 or even 30,000 bucks? Yeah, absolutely. And again, I would be looking at that as an opportunity on the first pass. I want to be very specific in stating this. That also means it doesn't mean that Bitcoin can't break below there. It just means that if Bitcoin does break below there, it does change up all of the interpretations that I am currently espousing, and I would be essentially bearish. The same sort of shit that we've been talking about for the last fucking month and a half now, and the target would be 23 to 24,000 bucks. Anyways, with that said, if we go through the lower term timeframes, what is the likelihood of Bitcoin popping back down around that $30,000 region? Well, let's see. Actually, I want to see what CME Momentum Oscillators say, because they are typically more right on a Monday. And yeah, by the way, check out where the 4-hour 200 simple and 200 exponential average is. Is that at 30,500? That's fucking weird. Isn't that strange? The confluence right there. Anyways, so looking at this right here, we do see that 4-hour Stokes are pointed down nice and southward, as long as we're below 37,200 bucks. I'm curious what 4-hour RSI looks like. Yeah, rejecting the bullish control zone right there. Now, ultimately, this is still a good read. Still very constructive over the long term, but short term, I'll be looking for it to kind of trade sideways within the neutral zone here. So would that would that account with a bit of a sideways range on price action? Yes, it would. With a slight downside twist there. What about the 3-hour? We do see 3-hour Stokes also pointing southwards here as well. We do see that momentum will remain to the downside as long as below 37,700. Buy hourly is showing 35,100 pressure down as long as we're below there, and hourly actually trying to pop up right now, and will pop up as long as we close above 32,800ish region. So what does that account for? A little bit of sideways, probably a little bit of downside after maybe fell at the downside of the range, but ultimately again, my main message here is that on the whole I am Bula-ish on this. Now, looking at the daily, we do see that daily Stokes are obviously popping back up, but this would be the time to actually go reference regular charts right here, and that's actually even lower price point at 30,800ish region. As long as we're above there, momentum does naturally remain to the upside. So the picture that I'm trying to paint right now, or the picture that I am painting, or the picture that the charts are painting to me more accurately said, is that does Bitcoin trade a little bit of sideways and down? Probably yes. Ultimately, on the whole, should I be looking at that as an opportunity? Yes, indeed, I should as well. Anyways, let's see. Did we see the same thing on RSI right here? Yeah. Okay. So this is the other thing that actually makes me consider that Bitcoin might be a little bit more immediately bullish. It would be this. We do have 1, 2, 3 drives on hidden bullish divergence coming out over here, and typically speaking, I'd be looking for a nice little stint into the medium zone of the bullish control zone there. So with that in mind, I don't think that move is actually played out fully just yet. If you kind of just discount for the Elon Moose pump and just look at bodies rather than actual wicks, well, in this case, I would be saying that is, it hasn't really given us all that much as of now. Anyways, let's go line this up with spot price action as well, just out of curiosity, because you can see that momentum oscillators are obviously very different, because obviously CMEs were not trading over the weekend while spot was, and what we typically see is that CME signals do hold better on Sunday and Monday trading especially, and then on Tuesday we typically see all markets kind of converge on each other, and there's not really much of a difference. So right now you can see there's a humongous difference on spot, as we do see 4-hour Stokes are popping up and will remain to the upside as long as above 32,800. 3 hours going to be about the same level as well, 32,750. Buy hourly is going to be showing 32,550, and hourly is going to be showing 32,700. So all of them are up actually right now, which is rather interesting. But what I would say is that this is a very clear and obvious signal that if we even get one of those closures below one of those pivot points for one of those time frames, I'd even go as far as saying that, but preferably, the 2-hour or the 4-hour here, if one of those conditions are met. But then again, they're pretty much the same areas anyways, as we see 4-hour at 32.8 and we see buy hourly at 32.6. I mean, not really all that much of a difference there. Then I would be looking for a full-on move to the downside of the range, and that's going to be about 30,500 to 31,000 bucks in this blue box territory right here. Hey, motherfucker, show me the right chart. There we go. In this blue box territory right here, and I'd be looking for a bounce off that level as well. Again, I'd be looking at that as an opportunity on the first pass. I do like this chart overall, just short term. I mean, we do have massive ranges here. I mean, that's a $2,000 move potentially, and well, considering the leverage levels in this market, that would be a great indicator to do. Is like showing the average leverage levels of people. Oh my god, that would be a fucking beautiful one to do. That certainly will wash out a lot of people, as sad as that fucking sounds. Anyways, if we're looking at HVP down here, we do see that there is a short-term move very likely incoming. We are expanding from about a 0 read just yesterday. I think hourly had the same thing as well. Yep, and 3 hour has what? Yeah, very, very similar here too. Although 3 hour is playing out that hidden bullish divergence, so maybe we do get a short-term move to the upside first and then come back down and fill out the downside of the range. Again, I don't have a strong opinion on the short term. If I did have to call it, I would say down. My strong opinion is on this, however, for the short term. This is what I would say. If Bitcoin does get a 4 hour closure above this pivot point right here, which is 34,500, we could even make a bit of a liquid zone, but I don't really care to do that right now. But if we saw a 4 hour closure above this region, or even a 2 hour, I think could be used here too. Yeah, maybe put it up another $100, but about the same thing. Then I would be looking for a retest of 37.5, and at that point, yeah, do things have a short term pullback from that region? Probably yes, but ultimately, it's going to. I shouldn't say direct language like this, but it's gonna go back up to fucking $41,000 and probably make new all-time highs. And there you go. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, we're in the TA nerd session anyways. Okay, so this is all good. All right, nice one. Okay, all right, we can speak freely now. Get the fucking spoon boys out of this bitch. By the way, 4 hour HVP, very fucking low as well. So keep an eye out in the short-term timeframes. Let's go check out the medium-term timeframes over here. What do we see? 12-hour Stokes pointed southwards as long as below 35,300. CME showing a different story here, actually. They will remain to the upside as long as above 31,300-ish region. So fair enough. Medium-term timeframe still okay. And I would be... Yeah, this one's a hard one to get as well. Like 12-hour RSI is good on the whole. Short term, though, would imply a little bit of downside here. But on the whole, very constructive. Very fucking constructive. This whole read right here going all the way back to, I mean, the August, September accumulation phases. That's quite powerful. But short term, yeah, I mean, that's, one next tick in the context of like 6 months of price action, not going to account for all that much. Anyways, in daily, what do we see here as well? Yeah, daily on both CMEs and spot is relatively similar. We got 32.2 right there versus about, $31,000. Yeah, we already saw that one. In daily RSI, again, flat. I'd be looking for it to go a little bit sideways and then up again. It looks good on the whole. Is what I'm gathering from that as my raspy lesbian voice pops back up and. And I do the old stutter session too. Anyways, buy daily. What are we looking at right here? Yeah, this one looks rather interesting as well. We'll see buy daily Stokes actually reject the bearish control zone and curl back onto the upside with any sort of a closure above $36,000. Obviously, that will be met if Bitcoin, or I shouldn't say obviously, but that would be very likely, we'll say, if Bitcoin does get that 4 hour closure above 34.5 to begin with. So I'd be looking for one to lead into the next, and that could, drive maybe a more long-term refined trading plan. I think I'm being a little bit too direct today, actually. All right, let's go back to neutrality. Buy daily, we do see that hidden bullish divergence being initiated off of this low right here. We did retest the 21, all have positive slopes. Good to me. Where's that 10 simple coming in around? Oh, is that 34.5? Oh, that is 34.5. Very, very interesting right there. What about the 10 simple on the 3-day? Oh, same level? Oh, that's so bizarre. That's so strange. And I would even say that this is already confirmed hidden bullish divergence between this point and this point over here. But technically Caretaker with my settings right now is not going to be showing that until we close above the 10 simple, it looks like. But I would say that that's already confirmed, actually. This to me is a low in progress, or if you're a little more aggressive, already confirmed. And I do think that is relevant to say in this case, and we would have a nice hidden bullish divergence of 1, 2, 3 stabs coming in around this level as well, right at the edge of the bullish control zone. Usually those are pretty nice. Anyways, anything on the weekly? Yeah, weekly Stokes still popping down, but keep in mind, we do have this trend line, this regression coming in. Oh, I guess I already have it in there. Coming in right here. That would be, right at the 70 read. So will remain to the downside as long as below 39.6. 39.6 there. So I'd keep an eye on that one. That is one slight counterpoint to what I'm saying, but but I think the bullish things on the whole are outweighing the bearish things. So, kind of wrapping up my short-term thoughts. Do I think Bitcoin's likely to have another move? Maybe a couple $1,000 lower. Probably, yeah. But ultimately, I'm bullish on this whole right here. Any sort of a move above last week's high at 38,620, and I'd be bullish for new all-time highs. Targets would be, let's just put an extension on this whole piece of shit. How about that? Or I think I already have it over here. Show me the targets, sir. Where's my damn extensions? There we go. There we go. Okay. So short-term targets above that level would be about $45,000, but that's not a real target. Whoops. Let's just go this way. Yep. There we go. About $52,000 would be the next major area, and then $58,000 would be the follow-up after that. Not bad. All right. Let's go check out. Got like a lot of messages yesterday. Krown, why did you not check out traditional markets? I don't know, because it doesn't trade on a fucking weekend. There's nothing different there. Let's see if we got a continuation on NAS. Ooh, we do. But we already hit my downside, or my next, no, we haven't hit my next target to the downside. I'd be looking for this one to trade back down towards 12.4 this week. SPY futures, probably same, relatively similar, 3600s. I still stick with that one. Short term, does it bounce here? Yep. Short term looking like a bounce on both though. So I'll be looking for maybe short term trade back up to like 13.2 on NAS, and SPY futures maybe even back up to like 3800. But ultimately, I do think that we're looking at a bit of a toppy top here. Volume kind of tells a story. Hit regular bearish evidence all the way through. Jewel sell signal on the top. Momentum also is turning down on expanding volatility. Yeah, I do think that after a short term bounce right here, we do that very likely does get faded, and we do test a little bit lower. Okay, all right. What else do we got? Let's go check out Mr. Buter, where are you? 1320. Still holding its own, and guess what? Did we make another test down towards the 21 exponential average? Yes, indeed we did. Is that in line with the last few lows? If you are looking at this as an ascending triangle, yes, indeed it is. Is that still holding up as far as we can tell right now? Yes, indeed it is. And would I be looking for a short-term move to the upside? Yes, indeed I would. Fuck. 1370. We're seeing momentum also has turned back up here. I mean, if Mr. Buterall turns back up here like right now, which by the way, it's fulfilling another test of this trend line that we highlighted, I believe, the last couple of days, would be rejection of the bearish control zone, and would look good for another move back up. Yeah, like 1370 to 1380ish region. Come back to it after that. But again, this is a reaccumulation. This is an ascending triangle right here. And while they don't necessarily always break out to the upside, they have a higher probability of doing such things. And I would say that this is intact as long as we are above on a closing basis 1250. So that's a magical number. I'm bullish on Mr. Buterall as long as that condition's met. Similar to Bitcoin above like 30,500ish region. If this one does get resolved to the upside, target's going to be 1700. But technically speaking, I don't think things are going to stop there. 18 to 1900 is where I'd be looking towards, and probably beyond after that too. I mean, this one's just stair-stepping its way up. It's a fucking uptrend, is what it is. Resolution anywhere above 1380, by the way. Let's see. What about altcoin markets? So I believe we were bullish on Ethereum, Bitcoin, and would I still be that way on the higher term timeframes? Short term's going to be down here, so I don't think it'd be appropriate for me to say that. No. Yeah, short term, I'd be looking for another swipe back down at 3.75 million. 4 hour, yeah, down as well. Yeah, I'd actually be short term down here. Short term down. So what does that imply? Well, it doesn't really give us too much, seeing as things are mostly ranging. Anyways, what about? Certainly, people love Ripple nowadays. Hey, big pumpy pump up there. What typically happens after Ripple pumps? Twitter posts. That's what typically fucking happens. This one actually looks like once more. Call me fucking crazy, but yeah, this one is probably bullish here. What about Ripple v Nipples on Bitcoin? Nope, not as interesting. That's for sure. What else do we got? Do we even want to go through these fucking shitcoin thingies? Not really. Still the same on Link. That's so strange. What about Link Bitcoin? Maybe that one's a little more interesting right now. Probably sideways and down, actually. I don't know. A healthy amount of I don't know. Why do people want to trade these things right now? Why? But Krown, don't you know that XYZ shitcoin can go 100% in one day? or you could learn a real skill as in trading and not have to be reliant on very, very like unlikely things. Anyways, to each their own, of course. Okay, all right. What about Cardano? Certainly this one wouldn't be giving up its rally either. I just got a golden cross. Can't really be bearish on that, I guess. Okay, all right. It's time to wrap this bitch up. I think it is. I do need to make this video a little bit on the shorter side today, so I think that would be good. I can feel my stomach already start to rumble, so I know the morning dumps are coming for myself. Let's see over here. All right, so let's bring this all back. Let's bring this all back to where we started, and let's wrap this bitch up. Bitcoin on the monthly to start. Bitcoin on the monthly to start February off, we do see that the accumulation distribution indicator remains with the positive slope, which does set in the bullish bias once again, and looking at the $30,000 base as a base for the macro. Now, that also is confluent with the topside Toronto band right here, of which Bitcoin has been trending above the topside Toronto band ever since October of 2020. So this is still more or less fine, and I would be looking at that as a, well, as an opportunity, to, at least for myself. Of course, it's not financial advisor, not a financial advisor. Now, with that in mind, that does imply that Bitcoin still using this blue box territory or the 55 exponential average to the downside on the daily right here as a nice little basing point. And if Bitcoin does break it to the downside, then I would still hold with the same sort of targets at about 23 to 24,000 bucks. But is that what it's looking like to me? No. Putting both the accumulation distribution indicator into context with our lovely with our lovely market data over here, showing that the open interest has been essentially forming a range and increasing off of the $30,000 low, I would be looking at that as first and foremost reaccumulation, which does have a bullishly imposed bias. Of course, new MACD histogram tick for the month of February is going to be, well, increasing as well. So that, as long as we don't get the fading of that, I'm more or less happy to be bullishly biased here. ADX DMI also firing off the same sort of signal. Now, this is going to be building into the 2-day and 3-day as well, which can confirm tonight, especially the 2-day, which does have the DMI plus technically dominant, but I want to see the ADX get above the threshold as well. If that condition is met, another damn good signal that Bitcoin likely does pull through here and head back up. Now, I would be looking at the Elon Musk high of, I think it was 29th of January at 38,620 as a continuation point to the upside, meaning that if Bitcoin even gets back above there, if Bitcoin even just ticks back above the high of this dildo, then I would be looking for not just a retest of the prior all-time high, but very likely new all-time highs. I think we did an extension over here. Yes, indeed we did. First target would be about 45,000 bucks. On top of that, continuation would be applied to, well, 52,000 and 58,000 would be the next major areas above that region. Now, for the short-term timeframes, I am a little bit hesitant to be immediately bullish right here. Or whoops, wrong thingy. What would make me immediately bullish would be one of two things: either taking out the 30th of January's high right here, or closing a 4-hour dildo above 34,500. If I'm using a 2-hour, I'd make that about $100 higher. Yes, it does kind of matter, 36 or 34.6. And if that condition were met, I would be looking for a move back up to 37,500, probably a small pullback there, and then continuation very likely implied towards the $40,000 region. By the same token, until that actually happens, I do remain a little bit more short-term downside imposed here, just because, well, I'd be looking at that as an opportunity, so it's kind of like wishful thinking, I suppose. But at the same time, we do see that momentum oscillators on CME specifically, which typically do get the Monday market more correct, are all pointed southwards. You can see 4-hour here below 37,000, 3 hours showing 37.7, bi-hourly showing 35.1, and hourly showing 32.800. So a little bit of bifurcation there, but what does that likely account for? A little bit of sideways, maybe tests a short-term up and then pops back down. But I don't feel too strongly about that. I feel very strongly about the higher term timeframes, of which, again, the monthly drive and the bias right there. Do we want to cover anything else? Of course, Mr. Ethereum is rather interesting here too, as it is starting to pull through, especially as long as the daily holds a 21 right here. I do look at this as a reaccumulation formation in the context of an ascending triangle, and resolution would be had with a closure above about 1400, or with a 4-hour above 1440, I think it was. Yeah, 1435 actually, and targets would be basically 1800 plus. On top of that, we do see that daily momentum oscillators are doing what? Are they turning back up? No, they're turning down, but they will actually turn back up with any sort of a closure above 1287. Jesus Christ, as it follows this regression right here too. But it needs to turn up on the next tick. Otherwise the downside's going to have a chance once again. And just like Bitcoin below 30,500 does impose the bias of going back down to the $23,000 to $24,000 level, Mr. Buterin all below 1250 would start to destroy the narrative of this being reaccumulation and would initiate targets back down to 1050, probably a small bounce there, and then continuation down to 750 and maybe even beyond. So for right now, I do remain, more or less fine here, but we'll come back later and see what's up. Anyways, while you're still here, if you are still here, that is, we do have our welcome day, our new app welcome day sale going on. It's going to be going on for the next couple days here, and of course, the same sort of information that I always kind of disseminate during these times, and that is, make sure with the main programs like the TA program, which is the one that I'm showing right here, the options program, make sure that you watch the videos that accompany them, because they're going to explain kind of who they're for, who they're not for in depth. But the main thing that I want to say right now is make sure first, if you're new, don't get into these. If you're really, really new, maybe consider the Neophyte program. It'll get you the similar discount off the main program anyways, so it's not like you'll be wasting any money. And then more importantly, take advantage of the free content on this YouTube channel. I have a shit ton of free content in the TA 101 playlist, and the trading and technical analysis playlist as well. That's going to get a lot of people probably where they want to be. These programs are really dedicated for people who want to take this in a more like lifestyle sense, like a TA nerd like myself, basically, which is not going to be everyone, of course. So I want to be very specific with this. If you're on the fence, that's probably a good sign that it's not for you, and that's all good. I mean, we're just different lifestyles. Anyways, our full list of programs are down around here. Obviously, the TA program is for TA and trading. Master Options program is for options specifically, a much bigger learning curve for this one. And I'd suggest at the very least having, some good experience with trading at the very least before ever considering this one. Neophytes Initiation Trading and Technical Analysis. This one is for complete beginners. Again, make sure you watch the videos so that you understand what sort of content's going to be in there. Jewel, that's my pride and joy, my lovely source of edge. PineScript Mastery, that is a program from Mr. Mournful himself, the creator of this app actually, and the creator of the Jewel, who will teach you how to make indicators in PineScript. Caretakers RSI, I show that one every day. You know what it is. And Caretakers STC, actually this is wrong right here. It's not 500 annually, it's 500 one and done. Both of these are a lifetime purchase, so I actually need to tell Mr. Mournfall that is also applicable. Then of course, Mr. Jackie over here has his group mentorship where he'll go over your trades on a week-to-week basis, and then he also has his video program here as well, which is more of a streamlined way of kind of getting that similar information, but obviously you're not going to have like the weekly meetings as well. So with that in mind, I think that wraps everything up. I want to wish you well. I want to wish you the best of the best and the happiest. I salute everyone. Take care, and until next time.